Okay, so now we're back for our third and final card, and once again it's a very simple card. I've used the DSP in a different way, but this one I've brought in the matching button embossing folder. So okay, let's get on with it. So let's get on with it. So what I've done is I've grabbed a piece of Coastal Cabana cardstock. I've die cut my fancy edging, and the edging looks like it's been stitched by the machine. My machine actually does this pattern. So that's all I've done there. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick this Early Espresso down onto our piece of Coastal Cabana. Coastal Cabana, isn't it? Yeah. Oops. I'm all fingers today. Now I'm bringing it right up to the top, just like that, only because this bottom bit is going to be covered and I want the top of the edging to show. Now I thought I'd bring in the part that's cut off from the edging. I should have showed you before I stuck it down. So if you can imagine, that bit fits in here, and I just wanted to show you that if you wanted to, you could even use that part of the die cut because it's quite nice. And if we turned it over, we could still do that as well if you wanted to. But I like that frilly edging. Then what we're going to do is we're going to adhere this piece of DSP to the bottom of our edge, just like that. Now you can understand now why I wanted the Early Espresso edge right up to the top of the Coastal Cabana. So once that's done, I'm still not going to worry about the edges being trimmed. I'm going to do that last. And then all I'm going to do is add some Tombow to the back of our piece. We're going to bring in our embossed Whisper White, which has been embossed with the matching button embossing folder. It's a cute little folder, and I can see myself using it a lot, and not just with this suite or stamp set. It's just a nice background. And then this is when I'm actually going to trim off the excess, and that's all nice and straight now. Then what we're going to do is we're going to add this to a piece of Early Espresso cardstock. Early Espresso isn't one of the colours that they have in this suite, but all these colours that are in the suite or match in with the DSP go with Early Espresso. That's why I bought in Early Espresso, and it's a nice neutral colour that seems to go with a lot of all the cardstock. Then we're going to stick this to our piece of our base card of Coastal Cabana, just like that. And that is nearly basically our card done. So once that's done, I'm going to then stamp What I've done already is I stamped our reels of ribbon image onto a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I've die cut it with the matching die. Now I've only done this to save a little bit of time, and then what we're going to do is we're going to colour our ribbon. Now I've used the same colours as what we used in card number 1, but you don't have to, and I've made sure that this time round my pencils are nice and sharp. Now I'm not going to blend or anything, I'm just randomly, well I won't say randomly, but just colouring the ribbon. You can blend and shade however you like, but I'm happy for this card just to be like that. Now, if you don't have the pencils, once again, you can use your ink or your refills and your blender pen, or if you have the blends, the Stampin' Blends, you can use them. And another one you can use too also as well, if you have them, is your Stampin' Road markers. They would work just as well. So all I'm doing, and you can see how much easier it is to colour when our pencils are nice and sharp. It just makes everything just so much smoother and easier. And as I said, I'm not blending, I'm just colouring. Line go through there, but that's all right. I'm just basically making sure that all my ribbon is nice and bright and coloured. Now I have done another card using this image, and I have actually blended and coloured and blended with the Stampin' Blends, and it does come out quite nice, but I mean to say this is just as good as well. Now the watercolour pencils I'm using are number 1, so that's the first lot that Stampin' Up brought out. There you go, and I'm happy with that. I'm not going to worry about the reels themselves, I'm just going to leave them white. So what we're going to do then is we're going to put a few little dimensionals on the back, and I think I will bring in a little one and put it right there just for a little bit of support, and that's it. Then what we're going to do is do our sentiment. Now again, I've cut the shape using the shape from the Arts and Crafts dies, and it's got, I don't know whether you can notice it, but this shape has a nice little edging around it. It's not a stitched one, it's just a nice little raised edge, and this shape reminds me of a dog bone. I don't know why, but I think it's supposed to be a cotton reel, but it reminds me of a dog bone. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to stamp our sentiment. Now I'm using the sentiments from the stamp set, but you can use whatever you like. And make it into a birthday card or best wishes card or something like that. So that's that. Then I'm going to bring in a couple of dimensionals, and we're just going to put our dimensionals there. And we're going to bring our base card back, and I'm going to take off the sticky lids of our reel of cotton, or ribbon I should say. And we're going to stick that about there. I won't press it down yet until I'm happy with the placement. I've just sat that there, so if you're not sure about your placement, don't ever press on it. Always let it sit, and that way it's easy to lift up. So I think I'll bring that about there. And now I can come back and I just press that down nice and firm. Then we're going to come in with a little heart, and I think, what else? What other colour have I got? Just want a tinier one than that. There you are. That's a nice one. What other colour have I got? Pink. Let's see if this goes. Okay. So we've got the Coastal Cabana heart, or we've got the crushed curry one. So we might use the crushed curry, I think. I'm not a lover of the crushed curry, but everyone's different. And in this instance, it tends to go with the card. And all I've done is just, when I've popped it up, I haven't put the pop-up onto here. I've put the pop-up onto the embossed white, and that way it's not popping up above the sentiment. And that is our third card. So these all our cards now, and I do hope you've enjoyed creating them with me, because I've enjoyed I'm really enjoying this set actually, or this suite. So there's number 1, number 2 and number 3. All very simple, easy cards, but as I mentioned, I've let the DSP be the star of the show. And thank you once again for subscribing to my online classes. They're very much appreciated, and I hope to see you again for August. Okay, thanks. See ya. All right.